All right, another PSA grade reveal, and this, without equivocation, is the greatest PSA 90s basketball cards grades that I have ever received in my entire life. Another episode of the cross country collection. I called these 50 low to mid Michael Jordan cards. It's really mostly mid and potentially high. You'll see. This is a big one. This was probably the most shocking results I ever got. I think I got it on Friday night when I was at a high school basketball game, and I showed my buddy, and he's like, holy shit, how much is that worth? And I was like, let's just say I did really well. So as always, you're going to see the cards coming up right now. You're going to see some stuff you have never seen. You're going to see some cards that are like pop 10, pop 11, pop 12, pop 15. In gem mint condition from PSA. This is not what I have been accustomed to lately. In fact, it's very ironic that my absolute worst grades ever received was the last PSA grade reveal video you watched in part 90, and these are the best that I've ever gotten. So I'm going to show you the cards 1 through 50. Only one of the cards wasn't graded, spoiler alert. That's pretty good. 1 out of 50 got the N6, N9, N1, whatever the hell the N's are. It just means PSA didn't grade it. The rest got graded, and man, I crushed it. Come back at the end. We're going to look at the spreadsheet. We're going to look at the value. We're going to look at some of the pops. We're going to look at some of the cards in detail. And I'm going to show you my results as far as gem percentage and most importantly, dollar value at the bottom. I have never been this excited. I am actually adding 20 cards from this 50 card submission into my personal Michael Jordan collection, which if you've watched the other grade reveal videos, it's usually 3, 4, because I usually have some of these cards. These graded so exceptionally well, and so many of them were inserts that I didn't have, that I'm actually going to get to tremendously take a huge step forward in my personal collection, which is really more important to me than selling cards for a couple of bucks profit. So stay tuned, enjoy the grades, come back and watch at the end of the video, and you'll see the encapsulation, the summary of what happened. PWCC is a great way to sell your sports cards. If you're looking for a way to support the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel, consider using the promo code CAJUN, all caps, C-A-J-U-N, when you're selling your cards on the PWCC marketplace. All right, folks, here we go. Another PSA grade reveal video. And as you heard from the introduction, this one was an absolute monster. So you're going to love this. Some good stuff to share with you. Some exciting, really unique cards, low pop stuff to add. First and only card that didn't get graded was this Nemesis. It's the Jordans, the Dumars. I'll run it back up the flagpole, and like I always say, they'll grade it the second time around. It was deemed to be men's size, which is weird because I've never had a Nemesis come back men's size, but it is what it is. So this Nemesis will be just resubmitted and quite likely graded the second time around. All right, let's get cranking. We will just start pulling cards, man. And again, I don't know the rhyme or reason between which cards have these little things on them, but sometimes those things are on there. I love this base set, the 1997 Skybox EX 2001. This base card, which looks like the greatest insert ever, but it's just a base card, obviously translucent, as you guys can see. Came back a PSA 8. 8, 9s, and 10s. 1997 Generations. I did not have this in a PSA 10. I have the Generations Refractor Gem Mint. I did not have the regular Generations. Of course, this is a separate card on the Cajun Cardboard Michael Jordan hierarchy. So I got to highlight that one in yellow and confirm that I have the Gem Mint copy of the base version. Even the base version's badass. You know, go check out the pack odds. These aren't exactly easy. But just like the Rockstars, the 1997 Topps Generation, the Generations Refractor, the Rockstars Refractor, both die cut, the base and the refractor, but this is the base version. PSA 10 is kind of a big card. We'll look at the spreadsheet at the end. Don't forget to stay tuned. Just missed on this. I've got the 95, the 96, both in PSA 10. I need the 97. It's just really hard to find. And so PSA 9 is the next best thing. I thought it had a chance. You can't really complain about a 9. It's still a really valuable card. I will put this in my collection as a placeholder because this is the highest graded copy of the 1997 Total O that I have. So awesome grade right there. The Ultrability Starter, this was shocking. The top edge is probably the culprit here. Came back PSA 7, bottom left too. This one's just got some issues, right? So one of the very few PSA 7s you guys will see
in this episode, it was overwhelmingly, it was overwhelmingly good. Let's just leave it at that. We just talked about it, right? The Rockstars refractors, the Rockstars base. This is the base. I think I already have a PSA 10 base Rockstars insert. So this one will be for sale. These are not high pop cards. We will see that when we get to the spreadsheet in just a second. So Rockstars and Generations, 1010. How about this die cut from 1997 SPX? This is the regular and this is the sample. I don't know what the deal is with these. Again, I'm no expert on SPX, but this one, as you can see, says sample. This one, as you can see, does not. They look the same to me. I don't know what's what. Somebody tell me what's what. But the die cut sample got a 9 and the regular got a 9. Two pretty cool cards right there that are not easy to grade with those super sharp pointy corners. The 1996 Fleer Metal Shredders. You almost have to get a 10 to have any meaningful value of this card. It's not the rarest card. It's also not an insert, despite the fact that people call it the Shredders and it looks like an insert. It's actually a subset card. So 9 right there. The Slam Cam came back a 10, and I've got this in a 10. So now I've got 2 10s. This one will be for sale. I didn't know, but you can see, look behind, you can kind of see if I move it around that these little film squares are completely translucent. I didn't really know that. Even Jordan's body, you can see my finger behind his jersey number right there is kind of translucent. It's one of those things you can't tell in a 2D image, but when you've got the card in hand, you can really, really, truly appreciate it. It's just really an awesome card. Of course, the other Slam Cam is worth a hell of a lot more. This one's a little bit easier to obtain, but still, there's not a lot of PSA 10s out there, so that's a big boy card right there. Next, we've got, I was really thrilled with this. This is a rare card. If I'm not mistaken, I think this has only been graded not quite 100 times. This is the 1997 Upper Deck Holo Jam #1. And it came back a PSA 9. There is just not very many PSA 10s, and the PSA 10s are massively valued. Even the 9 has a good deal of value, which we'll see at the end of the video. PSA 9 on that card is actually a tremendous, tremendous grade. I'm not sure why I sent this little munchkin. I don't think it's worth very much, but it was a 1996 Collector's Choice Mini, but it's the gold parallel. You can see the gold border at the bottom with Jordan, Ron Harper, and Steve Kerr. Came back a 9. Kind of reminiscent of the 1980 tops, you know what I mean? With those 3 parts. Wait, we're gonna save those, I think. Let's just go ahead. We'll just go. Let's just go. Here we go, 1997 Flair Showcase. Guys, you're about to see an incredible run on the Flair Showcase base cards. And these are base cards, but they are no ordinary base cards, as you guys know. We've talked about these on the hierarchy. You know, they look like inserts. They look better than some inserts out there, but this is the row 2, and it came back a 9. There's a row 1, which is just really, really sharp, and it came back a 9. Here is a row 3, and it came back a 9. So 3 9s so far on the showcase, and spoiler alert, that ain't the best news. You're about to see some serious heat in just a second. Thrilled with another 10. The Michael Jordan Ultrabilities All-Star. Of course, this is the mezzanine, the middle level, All-Star, Starter, Starter, All-Star, Superstar. This is the middle one. I own this in a 10 already, so this 10 will also be for sale. Just a really good looking card. When I sent this in, I said that looks like a 10 because everything about this card looks so perfect. And for once, I was actually right. End to end, an insert that I need in gem mint condition for my personal collection. I do not have it. This is a PSA 8 copy from 1995 Fleer. Another 1996 Flair Showcase, the row 2, PSA 9. How about this? 97 Ultra Gold Medallion MJ PSA 9. I do own the card in a PSA 10 slab, so this PSA 9 will be for sale. It's a big boy card. It's a beautiful card. It's a great looking card. The platinum of this is one of the best looking cards in the freaking universe, but these golds might even look better with the gold script down there at the bottom. It just really, really pops. So PSA 9 on that big one right there. The regular Players Club. Not the Players Club Platinum. This is just the 1995 Collector's Choice PSA 8. All right, card number 210. Fleer Zone. I need this one in the gym. There's only a few of them out there. If I recall, it's like 10 or something like that, or 20 or something very minuscule. We'll see when we get to the spreadsheet. But mine came back an 8. It looks like it might have a little print line going across the middle of it. So PSA 8 on that Fleer Zone. I'd forgotten about these. This is the parallel of the Decade of Excellence. This is not the Decade of Excellence most people are familiar with. Most people are familiar with the 86 Fleer Decade of Excellence. This is the 87 kind of retro, but it's from 1997, and it's the Rare Traditions parallel in PSA 8. And this card does have value. This card does have pretty serious value. It's a 12 card inset, and this is number 5. 1996 Flair Showcase Row 2, got an 8. 1998 Ionics Kinetics insert, number K1, comes back a 10. Good looking card right there. 1997 Flair Showcase, another 9 for this base Flair Showcase. The Dish and Swish came back an 8. So like the Zone, I was hoping for a 9 or a 10 to kind of put it in my collection as a placeholder. I've actually got, I think, 2 of these in PSA 8 already. So this one will probably be for sale. It's not a very valuable card. Not crazy pack odds, but it is a card that does appear in the Cajun Cardboard Michael Jordan hierarchy. And here we go. We got a 1995 Collector's Choice Players Club. This comes back a 10. We got another end-to-end. This one will go in my collection. So one we saw got an 8. This one comes back a 9. So that end-to-end goes in the collection. Just missed on one of my favorite under-the-radar 97 Michael Jordan Soaring Stars. This is the high-flying parallel. As you can see, high-flying. And then more importantly, you can tell on the back because the clouds are black and white. So really cool. High flying parallel, PSA 9. I own the 10, so this 9 will certainly be for sale. And then Statliners. And so between Dish and Swish, Zone, and Statliners, those are the 3 kind of middle tier Jordan inserts that I needed gems on. I didn't catch gems on those, but an 8's a pretty decent grade. This little spot right there is probably the primary issue, but this Statliners comes back an 8. Back's awesome on this too. This is just a good looking card, man. All right, this was a huge hit, man. This is a huge hit. This is the Fleer Traditions Crystal from 1997, card number 23. There's the base, of course, which I have in a 10. There's the Tiffany, which I have in a, it's either a 9.5 or a 10. I can't remember. And now I have the Gem Crystal, which I did not have before. So very welcome addition to the PC for this one with Jordan dominating all 4 Knicks. The other Decade of Excellence, 9. So this is the base version. We saw the Rare Traditions version. This one, not quite as much value, but it's a PSA 9 nonetheless. Another Players Club, got a 10. And then Driving Forces from 98, Upper Deck Encore, the Driving Forces F1. This is an insert card with a really cool looking holographic little kind of symbol thing down there. I like this card a lot. I like a lot of the Upper Deck Ionics cards. You saw the Kinetics got a 10, and now the Driving Forces gets a 10. So 2 great grades on those 2. Another Players Club here, 1995 Collector's Choice. Got a PSA 10. This is card number 45. Profiles got a 9. You guys have seen this card before. The Topps Profiles came back a 9. Oops, sorry, lots of 9s. Another Players Club. We saw 110 for card number 45. We got 19, and I think there's an 8 coming up at some point real soon. How about this Diamond Vision, a card that we talked about at length? The great Josh Dawson, Northeast Sports Card, talked about it in the Hierarchy Project at great length. It just reminds us of those old Sports Flicks baseball cards from the mid-'80s. But this is the Diamond Vision card number 4, sort of the base version. But look what I have for you. I have another one. And this is an 8 with signature moves, right? So this is the signature moves parallel, which is a card that does appear in the Michael Jordan hierarchy because it is technically an insert, and there's your signature right across the front, right? And that's the difference between the two cards, you can see. So 8 and 8 on those. Those are actually really, really good grades, which you are about to see. Those are very good grades. And then we got a Royal Court where I got an 8, a tough one. I don't own this Royal Court. I own the, I think is it 96 and 97? I think it is. So I've got the 96 Royal Court and a PSA 10. And I was hoping for the best here, but these are just like super crazy, nutso low pop. Well, both Stadium Club Royal Courts are low pop. So an 8 on that Royal Court. And is that not a good looking card? I mean, it's got the little emblem King of Kings. You got that right. It says Royal Court there with a little royal crown at the top. You know, it's got the Stadium Club up here in hollow foil. It's just a really good looking card, man. Really good looking card. There's Jordan on the back. It's kind of got that medieval type writing. 8 on that one. Actually just bought this card. Just won this card at auction, if I'm not mistaken. And this one just comes back from PSA, so I could have saved myself the trouble. But this one will be for sale, obviously. This is the 98 SP Authentic FC1, first class, PSA 10. It is die cut on the left side, as you guys can see. And now we'll start throwing out some of the big dogs. 1997 Flair Showcase Row 3, PSA 10. 1997 Flair Showcase Row 1. This is the big winner from this submission. This is the monster, and you'll see on the spreadsheet what I mean by that. Few and far between. PSA 10s, I think there's 41 of these, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken, but wow. So 2 10s added there. Another Players Club. This was that third one. Remember I mentioned there was a 10, a 9, and an 8 for the card number 45 Players Club. There's your 8. And there is, what do you know? Flair Showcase Row 3, PSA 10. Crazy results on those Flair Showcase. Hot Packs, Jam City came back a 7. It's a card I need in a higher grade. Like I said, look at the stack for the 7s over here. Just 2 so far. Isn't that crazy? And then another one of these. I've gotten a million of these back, guys. This one, however, is not the red, serial number to 2300. This is actually the bronze, which means it's serial number to only 230. It's Penny Hardaway. It's the 98 Upper Deck Hard Court, holding court. So Penny Hardaway on the front, Jordan's on the back of all of them. I think card number J30 is the only one with Jordan front, Jordan back. Everything else is another player on the front and then Jordan on the back. And this is the bronze parallel, so it's a little more special. A 9 is a very, very high grade for this card. This is a very hard card to grade. Trust me, I know. I've sent a bunch of them in. I've never gotten a 10. Big card here. I don't collect these. I don't collect these cards. I don't collect any of those Jordan only sets where every single card features Jordan. I just chose not to. I'm not saying nobody should. I just don't. And so that one will be for sale. And then I wanted to show this to you guys all at once. You may have seen on Instagram that I hit this trifecta. That's nuts. I don't know what else to say about this. It's the 97 UD3 MJ3 complete set. 1, 2, and 3. These die cut cards, you know, theoretically fit together, except there's a PSA 10 slab in the way. I'll take it this way. This is actually my second trio in PSA 10. So I've got PSA 10, PSA 10, PSA 10 in my vault. And then I've got these 3 PSA 10s, which are, check it out, 72, 71, 70. 1, 2, 3. If that's not cool, I don't know what else is. That's a home run right there. Those were the first 3 cards in this submission. So my first 3 grades that I saw when I got the email was 10, 10, 10 on 3 cards that I know are big, especially the M3. The M3 is significantly more valuable than the 2, which is more valuable than the 1. So tough to complete that. But that's it, guys. I mean, look at these stacks, right? Here's your 10s, here's your 9s, 8s, and then 7s. I mean, it's a home run. It's a slam dunk home run submission. You know, just 9 and above. I mean, it's amazing. It's the best results I've ever gotten. Check out the spreadsheet at the end. We'll look at some values.
All right, let me know what you think. I'm pretty excited. I mean, this ain't ultra modern, shiny, select, you know, quarterback prospecting or, you know, Luka Doncic base prism grading. I'm going to switch you over to the spreadsheet. Like, I'm kind of surprised. Like, I look at 90s Jordans all the time. I look at the gem rates all the time. We do it when we do the PWCC auction recaps. to get 34%, that's more than 1 out of every 3 come back PSA 10. That's not normal. That is atypical, so I am beyond thrilled. It's led to me being able to add a lot of these into my PC as the highest quality grades that I have of certain cards. And then the PSA 9's coming in at 36%. I mean, that's 35 out of 49 graded cards coming back. PSA 9 or 10. I mean, you're talking about 70% there alone. If you throw in the 8s, now you're at, what is that, 84, 85%. There's only 3 cards that didn't grade an 8 or better. To me, that is extremely unusual. This was the perfect storm of grade results. So I am happy to reap the benefits of it for once. It's like I said in the intro, what's hilarious is my last order was the absolute worst PSA grades I've ever gotten in my entire life. Like, it made me question my purpose in the hobby. And then this one comes in and it just crushes the last one. It's like from one extreme to another. PSA's got me on a yo-yo. So let's talk about the percentages. There you go. There's your percentages up here in the top right, as always. Yellow are the cards that I'm adding to my PC. Green are going to be for sale. Don't message me. They'll be for sale. Trust me. I'll tell you how and when. Red means I need to either it didn't get graded or I need to crack it and resubmit it, or I'm considering cracking it and resubmitting it. By the way, this order took right at 3 months, sent on October 18th, came back on January 20th. As you saw from the video, it was 50 low to mid Michael Jordan cards with some really high potential on some of these mid cards. And it came right out of the gate cooking. You're talking about the entire MJ3 set coming back in PSA 10. That's about $1,900, $2,000 right there. You can see the pops over here. Obviously, like I said, the MJ3 is more valuable than the MJ2, than the MJ3-1. And so that's a result of the pops and the insert pack odds. The mini Jordan came back a 9, which is like really good, and it was only worth $25. I don't know why I graded the stupid collector's choice mini gold parallel. I just did it. I don't know. I thought it would be worth more. I don't know why I did it. The 97 Upper Deck Hollow Jam. Like I said, when we were looking at the cards, it's a pop 11. There's 2 PSA 10s. So that's one of those deals where, beggars can't be choosers. I am a grade snob, but I am a objective, logical grade snob. The odds of me acquiring one of those 2 10s, and I'm assuming Josh Dawson's got one of them, means there's one out there in the world. The odds of me putting my hands on that one are not good. So for me to get a 9 in this grade submission in the year 2024 was an absolute slam dunk, grand slam, hat trick, home run. I just combined all 3 sports right there into one analogy. $1,000 is about what the thing's worth in a PSA 9. There's 13 9s and 10s combined. That's crazy low. The Jordan Crystal came back. That's an $800 card. It's a pop 12. Then the Generations came back. It's a pop 112. It's a little higher than I thought it was going to be. The refractor obviously much lower, but I thought even the base Generations insert would be a little bit lower pop, but 10 in that's about a $550 card. Those are all 3 going in my collection. The Rockstars is for sale. $660 is about what that's worth. Again, these are not sale prices. These are not invitations to purchase the cards. I'm just kind of going through the spreadsheet to give you an idea where we're at on value, because a lot of what I'm doing in this cross-country collection is trying to recycle money, incorporate some, ingest some, grow my personal Michael Jordan collection. That's first and foremost. That is the first and foremost order of business, which is why these 20 or 19 or 20 yellow rows make me the most excited. The green is the stuff that's for sale. Both SPX die cuts, I got them already. $225 for each one of those, the sample and the non-sample. Actually, I might have done that wrong. I don't even think I looked up the sample. Maybe I did. By the way, there's the pop report for the Hollow Jam. I told you that card's rare. It's not even been graded 100 times between PSA and BGS. And there's a combined 5 gems in the world. So PSA 9 is about damn near as good as I can hope to do. Going back to it, the total O I just missed right there. Obviously, the gold medallion 9 came back. That's a $250 card. The total O MJ in a PSA 9 is only a pop 35. There's only 11 10s out there. I'm not sure how I'm going to track one of those 10s down. Dish and Swish and Royal Court, we talked about it. I missed on both of those, but those are the highest grades I have of those cards. The Swish and Dish, actually, I might sell. I don't know if I want to sell that thing, for only $50, which is I think what the last comp's worth, but that thing's probably actually going to be for sale. Then all the Players Clubs. Remember, these are Players Clubs, not Players Club Platinum. And when I looked at the grades when they came back, I couldn't remember what I sent. This was 3 months ago. I knew I sent off some Players Club Platinum. I was almost about to, I was going to need a napkin because I thought they were Players Club Platinums. And when I saw all those PSA 10s, I was like, holy crap. But no, these are the Players Club. So that in between, there's the regular, the Players Club Platinum, which is much more rare, much tougher pack odds. As these Players Clubs come back, even in a PSA 10, 70 bucks, 90 bucks. This apparently is the most important one, the 45, which was the silver around it. Came back, that's a Pop 81, it's a $250 card, but decent value up there. I'll keep the 10s and move the rest. The Nemesis did not get graded like we talked about. The Zone came back at 8, so like the Royal Court and like the Dish and Swish, I was really hoping for better to keep in my collection. But that Fleer Zone 8 is the best I have in my collection. There's only 33 9s and 10s combined. So even that 97 Fleer Zone in a PSA 8 is a $215 card. The Decade of Excellence cards, you guys didn't believe me when I told you the Rare Tradition was a rare and expensive card. It's a Pop 12 and an 8, and there's only 4 9s and 10s. So really tough card to grade. I'm guessing it's centering because on the one that I just showed you in the video, the centering was terrible. Everything else was impeccable. Everything else was immaculate on that card. The centering was awful, which is why I came back an 8. Even the PSA 9 of the regular Decade of Excellence comes back about a $150 card. I still haven't decided if I want to keep those. You guys know how I feel about Decade, not just Decade of Excellence, but any retro deals. I really don't like to collect those. So I might change my mind and just move both of those. That's $2,000 sitting on the table, and I just don't really love those cards. So those will probably be for sale as well. I'll probably, you know what, let's just go ahead and change it in the graphic. I'll probably just let those go. Those are not cards I want to keep. The 97 Ultra Abilities All-Star came back a 10, $750 right there. Real happy about that. The Authentic, SP Authentic First Class, that card that was die cut on the left with the oval in the middle. That is a pretty decent card in a PSA 10, $330 for that one. The Driving Forces I did not have, $300 card. Pop of only 13. Feel like that should be worth a little more than 300. So maybe the comp wasn't recent. Maybe I just need to look a little bit closer. But 300 seems really cheap for a Pop 13 card. I know in 98 Upper Deck they printed the hell out of everything, and they probably printed the hell out of these Driving Forces, but that seems a little bit low for a true insert from Jordan playing years, and it's only a Pop 13 and PSA 10. Seems low. Kinetics, Pop 63 is a $200 card. If you kind of compare those two, similar type sets, similar type inserts. You know, you see one's Pop 63, $200. The other one's Pop 13, only $300. It seems like the Pop 13 should be worth a lot more than the Pop 63. The Statliners 8 came back. I'm surprised that's not worth more even in a PSA 8. It's a tough card to grade. It's got those jagged edges on the top, and it's a $55 card approximately. I'll let that one go and try to find a higher grade. The Profiles 9 is a $55 card. Upper Deck Hardcourt with a penny. I thought this would be worth a lot more. That's a Pop 2 card, and there's only one higher. In the last one in PSA 9, it looked like I was around $175 value. I think that card's worth a lot more than that. In fact, I'm not selling that card for that amount. That's the comp that I saw. I'll probably just hold on to that card unless somebody wants to make me an offer at some point. Again, I do not collect those Jordan-only sets, and I know it's got other players on 29 other cards, but my point is every single card features Jordan on the back, and one features Jordan on the front and the back, and it's a 30-card set. I think I got that right. It's just not what I do, right? I just don't collect that. I got to draw the line somewhere. I'm not saying it's not a great set. It's a really cool set. It really is. It's just not for me. The end-to-end 9 is worth $75. I'll keep that one. The end-to-end 8 is just a baby, and I will not keep that one. The Ultra Jam City Hot Packs just did not grade well. Came back a 7. One of the very few just absolute misses. And then just the Flair Showcase is where I just crushed. For those of you who don't know, that Flair Showcase 97 Flair Showcase Row 1 in a PSA 10. That's a Pop 40 card, but it's about a $3,500, $3,600 card. That is a humongous card. I mean, there's legacy collections. Well, I mean, you can pick up legacy collections in low grade, which are serial numbered to 100 or 150 for less than that, or right at that. So big value on that card. I'll keep that one. Actually, 4 of those, the 9s and the 10s. I will keep in my collection. The only the 9s that I'm not keeping, I already have them, or I just got a 10. So you can kind of figure that out. But a lot of value there, just in the just in the Flair Showcase cards. You're talking about $5,755. So bases, not all bases the same. We'll just leave it at that, right? The High Flying 9 is about a $350 card. That's for sale because I got the 10. And then lastly, the EX 2001 PSA 8 is about an $80 card just because it's such a badass set, right? It's just hard to keep those cards in good shape. 18,150 is about the total return. It cost me a little bit less than $1,000 to grade it, so I would say that works. Remember, I didn't get these cards for free, right? I paid the seller for these cards. I ran comps on these cards and just kind of guesstimated in a very Cajun ingenuity way what I thought the cards on average would grade sight unseen. Banking on some 8s, a couple 9s, mostly 8s, and then maybe some 7s and 6s, or maybe some were not gradable, which has proven to be the case with this whole collection. A lot of the cards I'm not going to be able to grade. I'm going to have to sell them raw at the end of this thing, and it's going to be a big circus, but I'm going to do it one way or the other. I'm going to get some great content out of that as well, selling the raw cards. Maybe we'll do a live auction or something crazy like that at the end of this freaking adventure that we're on. But, this is unquestionably the best grading result that I have ever received on any cards from the 90s. Let me know if I'm nuts. Maybe I just am bad at this. Maybe I just don't know what I'm doing. But anybody out there, who thinks 35 out of 50 cards, and really 49 because the Nemesis wasn't graded, 35 out of 49 cards coming back 9 and 10 on Jordans, it just doesn't happen often. And I've got thousands of cards as a sample size to prove it. So I appreciate you guys watching as always. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about the cards in the comments. Please, I'm begging you, please don't message me. When the cards are for sale, I will absolutely let everybody know. The one thing I will say is that coming up very soon on February 18th, ending on February 18th, but starting on February 8th, PWCC Weekly Auction number 109, I'm going to have over 200 Michael Jordan cards in that auction. There's going to be a Cajun cardboard filter where you can go look specifically at my cards. And guess what? There's also going to be a tier 3 Cajun cardboard hierarchy filter and a tier 4 Cajun cardboard hierarchy filter for that PWCC Weekly Auction number 109 as well, which is really cool. It's really flattering that somebody out there, PWCC namely, and then the powers that be, thought enough of the Cajun Cardboard Michael Jordan Hierarchy project to add filters. It's flattering, and I'm most appreciative, and I'm going to take advantage of it and sell some of these duplicates and some of the lower graded cards that I have copies of in higher grade. I'm going to sell them in that weekly auction number 109, and probably a lot more behind that in 110, 111, 112. Some of these cards I'll sell on the channel as I've done before, although that's a little bit more trouble because I got to ship everything and put everything together and negotiate, and it just depends on how much time I have. But you guys stay tuned to those PWCC weekly auctions. If you're going to sell in the PWCC weekly auction, please consider using the promo code Cajun, CAJUN, all caps. When you submit and you're shipping your cards, you're filling out the submission form on the PWCCmarketplace.com website. It's real easy. There's an empty field. Just put in Cajun, all caps, CAJUN. A little piece of PWCC's money comes back to support this Cajun Cardboard channel and the content that I'm bringing you guys on the most consistent basis in the hobby. Thanks again for watching this grade reveal video. I'm excited. I hope you guys enjoyed it and saw some cards you don't get to see every day and some grades you don't get to see every day. So keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby, and peace.